Imagine having the opportunity to talk to the 500 richest people in the world, one by one. Imagine absorbing every lesson, every secret that led these people to the top of the mountain of success. And if, after these interviews, you decided to write a book, it would look like something revolutionary, something timeless. That's exactly what happened in 1937, when Napoleon Hill released one of the most impactful books on personal development, Think and Grow Rich. Inspired by Andrew Carnegie, one of the greatest tycoons of his time, Hill extracted the keys to true success from his conversations with the most successful people. Decades have passed, and this book remains one of the most influential ever written. Many of the modern teachings on success and personal development have their roots in this work. Among the many gems Hill shares, he reveals 13 fundamental principles, but today we're going to focus on 9 of them, starting with the first, desire. For someone to be successful, it is crucial that they have the desire to succeed. Without it, there will be no motivation to act. Simple desire doesn't produce results because it's just magical thinking. It only results in frustration. You need a burning, deep desire for a purpose that will automatically result in actions that will have concrete results. Simply wanting to succeed is not enough. It's too weak to withstand the difficulties and challenges along the way. True desire is different. It consumes your mind, your body, your spirit. You don't just desire success, you live, breathe, and dream it. When the desire is so strong, you don't mind working 10, 12, even 14 hours a day. You go to sleep thinking about it and wake up ready to act. There's no plan B, there's no escape. This mentality leads us to one of the most iconic stories of all time. In 1519, the Spanish captain Hernán Cortés landed in unknown lands off the coast of Vera Cruz. He and his men had a single objective: to conquer the vast Aztec Empire. But when they arrived, reality hit hard. They were few in number, while the Aztecs numbered in the thousands. Defeat seemed inevitable. But Cortés had something his enemies didn't: an insatiable desire. He knew that the only way to achieve success was to eliminate any possibility of failure. So he did something unimaginable. In an audacious move, he ordered his soldiers to burn the ships that had brought them there. Yes, he burnt all the escape routes. There was no turning back. There were no more what-ifs. The flames rose into the sky, lighting up the soldiers' faces. That sight left a very clear message. Either we win or we die. With the option of return eliminated, the only choice was to fight to the end, and against all odds, they won. Cortés conquered the empire that seemed impossible to defeat. This story is the embodiment of what Napoleon Hill teaches about desire. When you eliminate any possibility of giving up and fully commit to your goal, the path to success becomes inevitable. It's not a question of if it will happen, but when. Hill, however, doesn't stop there. He offers a powerful 6-step method for turning any burning desire into reality, and this technique has been used by people all over the world to achieve their greatest ambitions. Number 1, fix in your mind the exact amount of money you want to achieve. Number 2, determine exactly what you are willing to do to get there. Number 3, specify an exact date by which you want to have achieved this goal. Number 4, draw up a plan and take the first step immediately. Number 5, write down what your goal is in one clear, concise sentence. Number 6, read this sentence out loud twice a day. The second principle is faith. Faith is a belief you have in something you can't see but can feel. The author says that faith is the certainty that you will achieve exactly what you want. There are many people who start chasing their dreams with enthusiasm, yet they always encounter obstacles, doubt, and disbelief in their friends and family. For example, other people's doubts about their dreams make them lose faith in themselves, and in the end, they lose faith in their dreams too. Nobody said that achieving your goals would be easy. You have to have a faith as solid as a rock. Do you know what the agreement was between Albert Einstein and his first wife Mileva when they were divorcing? Einstein said, "If you agree to divorce me now, I'll give you all the Nobel Prize money I'll win." Do you see the level of faith in him? This agreement took place several years before Einstein received the Nobel Prize, but he had unshakable faith that he would win. And this is the kind of faith that Napoleon Hill talks about in his book. Faith can also be negative. The author says, "If you believe you've already been defeated, you have. If you think you won't dare, you won't. If you'd like to win but believe you can't, it's almost certain that you won't succeed. Life is a battle. In this battle, the winners are neither the strongest nor the fastest, and sooner or later the man who wins is the man who believes he can. The third principle is called autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is a technique that consists of teaching yourself that you can achieve anything you want. Hill says that to activate autosuggestion, you need to be in a calm and quiet place. And read the phrase that describes your desire twice a day. Visualize it and believe that you have already achieved your desire. While visualizing, try to involve more senses. For example, if your phrase is about buying a new car, then while visualizing the car, see yourself sitting in the car, touching the steering wheel. Imagine yourself listening to the noise of the engine. Smell the leather of the seats. Visualize the pride and joy of your family and friends when you take them for a drive. A few days ago, I was listening to billionaire Dan Penn, and he said that when he was visualizing himself buying a Rolls-Royce, he would go to the car show, sit in the car, and pay close attention to the smell so that he could remember it later and make his visualizations more vivid. Perhaps if you think it's a waste of time that won't work, here's a decisive fact. Your brain doesn't differentiate between reality and illusion. From the brain's perspective, playing the piano and thinking about playing the piano are the same. When you start visualizing a goal, you are planting the seed of that goal, and when you repeatedly visualize it, you are watering the seed so that it grows and bears fruit. Perhaps you've noticed that when you start thinking about a goal frequently, you start noticing more and more things related to that goal in the world around you. Even if you don't do it consciously, your brain is automatically directing your attention to whatever is related to your goal. And it's because of this mechanism that you sometimes feel like you've come up with an idea or found a solution to a problem out of the blue. The fourth principle is about the importance of specialized knowledge. The author recommends becoming a specialist rather than a generalist. If acquiring general knowledge led to success, your teachers would be some of the richest people in the country. However, this is far from the truth. Hill said that success and power are acquired through highly organized and intelligently directed specialist knowledge. If you're looking for a photographer for your wedding, would you find someone who specializes in taking wedding photos or someone who takes any kind of photo? Chances are you'd choose the specialist photographer, even if they charge more. Another example is that if you have a heart condition, would you prefer to be treated by a general practitioner or a cardiologist? I think you get the idea. Whatever effort you're making at the moment to achieve your desire, try to go even deeper and specialize. Honestly, I admit that becoming a specialist is very difficult. From my experience, I can say that as soon as you decide to go and work on just one project, at some point you will certainly feel cornered and face difficulties. At the same time, many other great ideas and opportunities will be coming your way, which will make the idea of giving up and simply starting to work on something else very tempting. Please resist. Giving up is the worst thing you can do. This kind of behavior can even be pathological. It's called shiny object syndrome. This means that you find it difficult to stay focused on just one thing and frequently change your mind in favor of whatever seems most attractive at the moment. The fifth principle is imagination. Imagination is literally the workshop where all plans are created by man. It's where we give shape to impulse and desire. We initiate action with the help of imagination. If you can imagine it, then you can do it, said Napoleon Hill. All things are created twice, first in the imagination of the creator and then in the physical or virtual world. Great inventions that you see like Google and YouTube or Facebook started out as a simple idea in the minds of their creators, then received their first form in the imaginary laboratory before becoming real products. Albert Einstein once said that imagination is much more important than knowledge. While knowledge and logic take you from point A to point B, imagination can take you anywhere. Maybe now you're saying, okay, it all sounds very sophisticated and scientific, but I don't have a fertile imagination and I don't know how to make it better. Before I answer, let me tell you something. Imagination is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. And the problem is that most of us stopped training our imagination after we left childhood. Maybe it's because society started telling us which way we should go and what we should do in certain situations. So we gradually lost our ability to imagine. If you don't have a fertile imagination, then you need to start training it in the same way that you go to the gym and train your body. And the name of the supposed gym where you train your imagination is the thought experiment. The thought experiment is simply a situation or self-awareness that you imagine has happened to you. Then try to think of the possible reactions, responses, or solutions you would come up with. If you watch the film about Einstein's life, you'll notice that he made almost all of his discoveries using mental experiments. A little exercise I like to use to train my imagination is to constantly look at the products, systems, and businesses around me and try to think of what I would do differently or how I could improve them. The sixth principle is organized planning. The author explains that to be successful, you need to have a concrete plan. This plan must be a way of achieving what you want. Take as long as you need to draw up a plan and write it down. Once you've written everything down, the chances of it becoming a reality increase. Always make sure you write down your plans. Then move on and break your plan down into smaller, achievable parts and objectives. Hill also says that the planning process should be continuous and persistent. Even when you face difficulties and failures, never give up and keep working on your idea and adjusting your plans. The seventh principle is decision. The ability to decide quickly with determination comes when we have a well-defined purpose and an exact understanding of what we want. Hill says that if you tend to be easily influenced by other people and take a long time to make decisions, it may mean that you don't have a burning desire. You must use your own thoughts, ideas, body, and soul to make your decisions and defend them. Most people who fail to achieve their goals are those who are influential. They allow the media and gossipy neighbors to think for them. Opinions are the cheapest commodities there are. Everyone has them. Whose opinion are you going to choose? Your own or that of your colleague who has no idea what your plans are? Even our parents, family, and close relatives can hurt us with mockery or jokes, even if they didn't mean to. Thousands of men and women carry inferiority complexes with them because someone has destroyed their confidence through opinions and humiliation. You have your own mind. Use it to make your own decisions. If you need facts or information from other people, seek them out quietly without necessarily having to reveal your purpose or talk to your mastermind group. I'll talk more about the mastermind group in the last principle. So for now, make one of your first decisions to keep your mouth shut and your eyes and ears open. Principle 8 is persistence. Persistence is an extremely important factor that will determine your success in life. Hill says that this is an important habit that you need to develop in order to succeed in your goals. Persistence being the most important quality that differentiates winners from losers. No matter what you start working on, at some point it will get harder, and you'll reach a point where everything around you will make you think about stopping. The author says that it's exactly at this point that men are separated from boys. In the book, there is an example to show the level of determination we must have to deal with difficult times, one about the famous Thomas Edison. Hill said that Thomas Edison failed more than 10,000 times in his attempts, but continued to persist and work on his experiment, despite all the times he failed, until he managed to finish his invention, the light bulb. Another great example is KFC founder Colonel Sanders. I don't eat a lot of fast food, but when I have to, I always choose KFC. And it's not because of the flavor, it's simply because of my respect for the company's founder. At the age of 65, he created his recipe and went around to various restaurants trying to license it, but was constantly rejected. In total, he was rejected 1,009 times, and finally restaurant number 1,010 said yes, and that's how KFC was born. Many of us would have stopped trying at 10, 50, 100 rejections, but he persisted to the end, an attitude that I believe deserves the utmost respect. Principle 9 is the power of the mastermind. Napoleon Hill was the person who popularized the concept of the mastermind. He believes that no one can succeed without help from others. A mastermind group is a group of like-minded people who meet regularly to strive towards their goals, solve problems together, and keep each other on track. In simple terms, combining experiences and intelligences brings a number of economic advantages. For example, when you are surrounded by like-minded people who are always striving for more success and better results, you will think and act like them. You will then be influenced by the people around you in a positive way and become like them. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with lazy and negative people, you follow the same pattern and become lazy and negative. I'm sure you've heard the saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. If you can, I recommend reading this book. I also recommend watching the film created based on it. Hi, this is another video from the Be a Better Person channel. If you really like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and, of course, don't forget to subscribe so you can receive more inspiring videos every week. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon, Hugs.